Wounded masculine culture and the systems of supremacy want to keep us showing up in our business in a certain way. And in one of those ways, it is creating this idea of fulfillment through chaos. And sometimes when we achieve that satisfaction and contentment, it doesn't actually feel like the luxurious, elevated, expansive state that we envision it to be. Sometimes it actually feels more chaotic because we've been driving the plane upside down this entire time and have just created a new normal. So in this episode, I pose a couple of different thoughts, insights, some of my own experiences and experiences I've had with my clients recently about essentially detoxing from some of these systems and learning to be comfortable with the uncomfortable, and how showing up in a state of doing and expecting love and worthiness has been driving us for so long, and how we can show up in a state of being and expand our capacity to receive. If you've been feeling unfulfilled in your business or curious about creating more fulfillment, I highly recommend continuing to listen to this episode. Let's dive in. I'm your host, Tiffany Chung, your go-to for all things marketing, mindset, and manifestation. I grew my online business from 0 to beyond 6 figures in 8 months. My purpose is to empower women to step into the highest, most aligned versions of themselves. If you are ready to take charge of your life, learn how to design a wildly successful business, and leave limiting beliefs behind, you've come to the right place. You will learn the actionable tips and step-by-step strategies on money, manifestation, and social media. It's time to step into your role as boss, to raise your vibration and tap into your unlimited potential today. Welcome to the Social Reset Podcast. If you are feeling unfulfilled in your business, it might not be for the reasons that you think. So historically, based on the systems of supremacy that we see working within everybody in the world, where regardless of where you live, regardless of your culture, race, ethnicity, gender, none of us are exempt from being fucked by supremacy systems, which is pretty much what I'm saying here. And this carries a lot into our business in a way that I think a lot of us don't even recognize. And I think the biggest way I see it is, and how I've seen it play out in my own business as well as my clients, and have had several conversations recently about this, is this piece of fulfillment, of happiness, of wanting to feel a certain way because of what's going on in our business. And I think for a really long time, at least for the most of us that have operated in these very wounded masculine strategies and shown up in our business in a way that wasn't completely in alignment with who we were, who we wanted to be, this has shown up in making us feel like our business is the anchor, is the kind of foundation of how we feel about ourselves and our worth, when in reality it is just thoughts that we're having about our business, about our container, about our offer. And I think that typically there is so much there are so many emotions that are very heightened when it comes to our business, because we love it. We want to succeed in it. We want it to represent certain things about us and our success and how much money we make and how many clients we book. But I think that there needs to be an understanding about business where we can separate the thoughts that we have about our business versus the thoughts that we have about ourselves in order to create more fulfillment. So essentially what I'm saying is that the fulfillment doesn't come from the business and how well the business is doing. The fulfillment comes from ourselves. And I think this is just a different take on, separating your worth and your identity from your success. But I think that we also expect our business to do certain things. And because we're so tied to it, we expect it to make us happy. We expect it to give us all that we need. We expect it to essentially take over. And this results in things like workaholism. And we see this through industrialism, where we're meant to work faster and harder and stronger and better in all of these ways, where we can maximize productivity and where we can maximize our impact and our income, and just like all this like maximization of efficiency and how much we can get done. And that really being like, the thoughts that we have about our business and the thoughts that we have about ourselves. And I want to offer this thought to you in really recognizing, like, what do you believe about yourself outside of your business? What do you believe about yourself regardless of the state that your business is in? And if your business was perhaps taking a couple months off from marketing or selling or launching, and you don't have any money coming in, what thoughts would you have about yourself then? Would you still be able to feel the same feelings of love and joy? And would you still be able to hold those thoughts, or would those go out the window the moment you're not seeing the results that you want from your business? It's very much like having a relationship that is very focused on the doing and the results rather than just the being. And for a really long time throughout my life, a lot of my relationships were based on the doing. Me being the one who is doing, going out of my way for other people pleasing, and really essentially like stretching my own boundaries, turning my boundaries into preferences for my friends, for my partners, for my family, right? Over and over, just like overextending myself so that I can feel loved and so I can feel worthy. And so, of course, when I went into business, I did the exact same thing. I started doing more and more and more. I started showing up more and working harder, thinking that that was going to create more and more results and more money. And when I started seeing dips in my monthly income, in my revenue, in my profit, I then started having these thoughts about myself. Am I a good coach? Am I still successful? I'm not really doing so well right now. What does this mean about me? So I was making all of these very quantitative results mean something about who I am as a person, rather than being fully connected to myself as a separate identity from my business. And the point that I'm trying to get at here is, how fulfilled do you feel within yourself and your own identity as a human being as it pertains to you, the person, not you, the business owner? And this is sparked from a lot of conversations that I've witnessed and been a part of in terms of people, colleagues, coaches, clients, friends, just really being so submerged in their business that if there is a sudden upturn, or there's a way that they're shifting out of a supremacy system such as patriarchal values or industrialism of working harder and faster and better, and they're starting to slow down, or they're starting to take a break, or they're starting to rest, or maybe they're intentionally not making money for a couple of months, it shows up in this way of, oh my goodness, what's happening? What am I doing? What am I doing wrong? What is this feeling? I feel really bad about myself. I'm not making enough money, right? It's almost like a detox, and it feels really uneasy. It feels really unsettling. And in the mastermind that I'm a part of, someone had this very similar issue where they were like, I don't know what to do about it. I want to get coached on this. And so my coach was like, well, what if it isn't something that you need coaching around? Maybe it's something that you just sit with and you allow to feel through, and you allow yourself to detox from. Very similarly to if you were having drug withdrawals and the chemicals in your brain or whatever neural pathways in your brain are seeking that chemical or seeking that release because it's so addicted to it, it's expecting it and it's not getting it. It is going to be painful, yes. And sitting through it and feeling through it is painful, yes. But it's also the best thing that you can do. And so I feel like when we are detoxing from systems of supremacy that have showed up in our business and in our lives, especially as women and even more so as women of color, is it something we need to fix? Is it something that we need to jump in and problem solve and coach ourselves on? Or is it something we just need to feel through and recognize, okay, so I've received fulfillment in this way for this long, and I've been so addicted to it that now I'm in this space where I'm not getting those dopamine hits. I'm not getting that easy cash. Maybe I'm taking a step back in my business. Maybe I am seeking fulfillment in other ways, or I'm putting that back into who I am as a human being and not just my results and success as a business owner, and recognizing that, yeah, there's going to be some uncomfortability with that. And there is going to be uncomfortability with all things that you do that step out of the status quo and break free from the systems that we've been essentially entrapped in for our entire lives, because the norm is to hustle. The norm is to go all in and overwork and to lose sleep and to do all of these things in the name of productivity that we're meant to lose ourselves. So when we're detoxing from that and we're doing something like resting, like being, like expanding our capacity to receive, like taking intentional breaks or taking a vacation or planning not to make money or make sales for a couple of months, it is going to make our nervous system go into a bit of an overdrive, because we were activated in this, we were regulated in this way of normalcy that was actually chaotic. So when there's peace and when there is contentment and there's satisfaction, sometimes the body that has been so entrapped and encapsulated and so used to the cycles of chaos, it doesn't know how to understand and comprehend the calmness and the satisfaction of being, period, of being, rather than doing. And that is the question and the thought that I just want to bring to you today that was on my mind is, what is your definition of fulfillment? What is your definition of success? And how can you define that in a way that allows you to break free from the systems that are at play that want to keep you showing up a certain way, thinking about yourself a certain way, connecting your worth to your business and success and revenue and profit in a certain way? And how are you going to embrace that uncomfortability when it comes up for you, knowing that that might actually be the best thing for you? All right, I'm going to catch you on the next episode. Thank you so much for tuning in, and don't forget to subscribe. If this episode resonated with you, please take a screenshot, share it on your Instagram stories, and tag me at tiffanychung.co. I truly appreciate interacting with every one of you. Catch you all on the next one.